Welcome to the Nail Engineer, and today I've got another 3 colours from the Gel Bottle Inc, one of which was actually a freebie at their recent Getting to Know You tour in Manchester. Onto the colours, we've got 073, which is like a baby peachy pink colour. We've got magnetic cateye or magnetic chameleon 024, which was the freebie. And then we've got 044, which is a taupey kind of colour. And the magnetic one, I'm going to be swatching over 3 colours just to give you an idea of how it behaves. Now, like an idiot, when I was at the show, even though they had like the shop on and they had offers and everything like that, I didn't buy a magnet. What an idiot. So I've had to dig out these crappy old magnets from a nail art kit I got like about 100 years ago, and I say crappy because they've got these tiny little stalks on them that aren't very kind of like user friendly. They have got this like little lip on them that's meant to like kind of guide you, like if you feel that on your skin then you're not too close, but it's kind of hard to do with pop. Without smooshing it, which I actually did when I first tried these out. So yeah, apologies for this. The cateye will look better with like a proper magnet, and I will get a proper magnet, but I didn't want to delay the filmage. So first up, we're going to have a look at 073, and when I first put this on my wish list, I was thinking that it might be a nice colour. It looked like it might be a bit sheer, and then it might be a nice colour for baby boomer, or you know, like just like a milky kind of French where you really want to blur the French line. So I'm going to give you my top tip for French tips. French top tip. Easy for me to say. Yeah, what I do is I use another brush, not the brush that's in the bottle, and this is just some white gel polish. You don't have to use one of this thin. This is the one that I actually tend to use for doing French toes, because toes are like so diddy, and often you haven't got much free edge, and you wouldn't want it either, otherwise they look like ugh. So yeah, it's really good for that, but you can use the thick brush if you want. Now I tend to kind of get a bit carried away, so to stop that, what I do is I pop a line on each side so that it's like kind of roughly even for where the smile line begins. And when I say roughly even, that's very rough. Let's pop that down a bit further, that's a bit better. And then I take a line and just take it to my middle point, and all I want to do initially is just to kind of like join those dots up just quite roughly, and then I can worry about the rest later, just as long as I've got that outline, taking the smile line like up to the same point at each side, and also with the same kind of angle. Just neaten that up a little bit there. And then of course, once you've got this smile line in, you can then like go in and faff with it a little bit more, or you can go in with your regular brush on your bottle. But it's just to kind of stop that thing of when you're using like a thicker brush and you just end up going up at one side, and then you have to go up at another side, and then when you go up at the other side it goes up a bit more, and and it just kind of never ends, and before you know it, it's like holy porn nails. I've got massive white tips. So anyway, you get the rough impression there, and then you can just go on and merrily kind of fill in and cure that. So I'm going to finish this off and then come back for the actual application of the colour. But there's my French top tip. You're welcome. So I've done my smile line, and I've just done 2 thin coats, and the other benefit that you get from using like a small detailing brush is that you end up with like minimal product on there, so that when you do put your colour over the top, that it won't actually have like too much of a lip. And another thing that I would do, like if I was doing this on a person, is I would put another layer of base coat just over the nail bed area of the nail, just to like level that up. But that's because I'm a fanny. So anyway, let's see if we can get a nice thin coat of this, nice and even, because I know that with some colours, doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't quite get an even coat. And I know that I bought another gel bottle colour called 270 in the hopes that I could use it for what I call a subtle French or a soft French, and unfortunately where the colour went over the white, it just seemed to grab up the kind of peachy pigment that was in the colour and make it look kind of orangey. I think I've managed to get that pretty even, and I'm going to get that straight in the lamp, and let's just try it on its own. For I'm going to go for an opaque application on this, and this is looking of a similar consistency to 044, which you'll see in just a sec. It's looking a lot thinner, like sheerer, than the other cream colours that I've had with the gel bottle so far, and you can probably see there my finger underneath. So onto the second coat of 073, and let's see if it does do the same thing that 044 does, which is just corrects itself on the second coat and does become opaque. And if it is still sheer, it's not a criticism. Like I said before, the main reason that I originally wanted this colour was not necessarily to have this kind of like rosy nude colour, but to get something that was kind of a bit milky and semi-opaque for that kind of milky French look, kind of baby boomer, soft French, whatever you want to call it. So I'm really sucking hard today at applying the polish. Sorry about that, folks. So if you look, you can maybe see, yeah, you can see there that I can still see my fingernail through it, so it's not opaque on the second coat. And just while we're waiting for that second coat to cure, you can see here this is the finished top coated pop, showing the soft French with the white underneath, and I just think it's a really nice effect. I'll get a shot of this in daylight. You can see ever so slightly there's a little bit of unevenness in finish, but I really think actually that this 073 colour is super good for being like kind of non-streaky and one of the most even colours that I've seen on like a single coat. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one for French. Next up, we're going to try 044, which is this lovely taupey kind of nude, minky, mushroomy, whatever you want to call it, colour. And I have actually used this on a person before I've actually used it on a pop. Only a couple of days after I got the colour, I had someone who wanted to use it. So you can see that it's actually quite sheer. Well, I can see certainly with my naked eye. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, I think you can. But this one is actually quite sheer, considering it's like a cream. Normally Gel Bottle Inc creams are very opaque, and many of them are like opaque on the first coat. Don't worry though, this one does seem to correct itself on the second coat. And before we do a final review of all of the pops, here's some I made earlier with the magnet dick and my crappy magnets. And this is over the teal base and this is over the black base. So actually let's flip them that way so you don't get confused. So you can see that it's like a gold colour with multicolour glitters in it, I can pick out like a tealy turquoisey colour glitter, and there's a pink glitter in there as well. I'm not really sure how it's a chameleon, because when I like move it around I don't see like any flip in colour. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. And I personally am not a gold fan, which is why I'm trying it over like a nude to see if it can be calmed down a little bit, because it is a little bit full on for me. But I do think over the black, if you had it like as a feature nail and like accessorizing with gold, it could look pretty cool. But anyway, this is what it looks like in the bottle, and it's a very, very kind of yellowy gold colour, and can you see the flecks of multicolored glitter in there? Now I actually think that a thinner coat of this might be nicer, a bit more kind of subtle, so I'm just going to be kind of careful to not get too much on. And literally all you do is you just paint on your layer, and then get one of the magnets, and I think I'll just have some simple lines. And then what you want to do is, and sadly you can't do this with an actual fingernail, is hold this as close as possible to the surface of the nail. And I'm probably not quite close enough there. So you have to be practically touching, and also it helps if you kind of like angle it around one side and then like angle it around the other side, just so that you don't get the effect only in the middle of the nail. But there you can see the lines have kind of shown up, and I have managed to get a tiny little bit on my magnet there, because I must have got too close. Told, the more product that you use on the nail, the more of a contrast you'll get, and the darker the colour that you use like behind, the more of a contrast you'll get with your cat eye. Here are all of the pops all queued up, and let's run through them. First, let's get the magnetic cat eye chameleon out of the way, and you can see here over the black, over the teal, and over just a nude colour. Yeah, I think I do actually like the subtleness of it over the nude, but for me it's just a little bit much with like all the gold and stuff, but I'm sure that there'll be people out there who will love this. Then we've got 044, and you can see on the skin, oh actually I should have shown these on the skin, and you can see on the skin it's a really nice tone, really nice kind of like neutral, and goes kind of, I could imagine this on all skin tones actually, it will probably look really nice. But most impressed I think with 073, and excuse my nails, these are like 3 weeks old, they're about to come off, and yeah, look how like lumpy this is. This is Pure Nails Halo glitter polish, and it does this, it just kind of like lumps up because it's got like loads of glitter in it. I think maybe they could have done well with putting a bit less glitter in it, so that it wouldn't be so like kind of lumpy, because no matter what you do with it, it won't settle. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, I just think this 073 just looks really lovely and clean, like as a French, and it's a lovely tone as well when you build it up to opacity with 3 coats. So I hope you enjoyed this and that you found it useful. I'll get some pictures of these lovelies in daylight as well, just so you can see what they really look like. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.